All right, how we doing? Bitcoin has managed to rally back up to the 28k level again and again, seen another rejection here. And the reason that this rejection is kind of a big deal so far is because we were actually setting a series of higher lows here. And we didn't do that now. We've actually swept that low literally just now within this most recent 4-hour candle. We've been dumping literally like just before I started making this YouTube video today. And given that we've lost this low, that kind of seals the short-term trend. When we've got short-term trends and we're punching in lows, if we actually sweep them and come a little bit lower than them, that is usually a really big sign that things are potentially going to go a little bit worse in the short term here. So that is not a good sign. That is not a good development. And I want to remind you that this is coming off a really important level. We've got the 4-hour 𝗢𝗙𝗥𝗙𝗚𝗓 that was offering resistance to Bitcoin right in this range. I was keeping you guys very closely updated on this area of resistance. It was not an area to fuck with, and I made that super clear with you guys. Along with the VPVR, we saw all the biggest spikes coming up right here. Not quite where we got rejected on this chart right here. We actually got rejected at the earlier spike. I did anticipate that we would get this high, and that's why at the very, I don't know, actually, I didn't show it to you in this video, but I was actually considering a short position, something that looked, a little bit like this. Still definitely looks like a good idea to me, but now the price has gone a little bit too low. I didn't actually get a chance to enter it, right? Like I wanted to enter it a little bit deeper into the resistance range, but Bitcoin just got rejected even earlier than that. But guys, look at the dollar. This is huge. This is exactly what we were talking about on the YouTube channel. So do me a favor and smash up those likes if you do appreciate this on point, thorough, an accurate and grounded technical analysis. Do me a favor, make sure you're subscribed. You got the bell icon checked as well. This is very time sensitive content. The dollar has ended up exactly where I was warning you guys it would go if we got the back test that I was warning you guys we might get, which is that we are very, very quickly closing in on that resistance level at about 104 now. The resistance is mounting on the dollar now on this chart. If we actually just zoom out and, understand where the dollar is, with its current position, right here is where we've seen a lot of reversal action for the dollar and a fair bit of consolidation as well. So anywhere around here is where it would make a lot of sense to kind of trend back down. This would be perfect because we formed a quite large bounce from bottom to top. This was roughly a 5% move, and this one right here, if we only go up here, would be about a 3% move. So I'm not saying that the upside for the dollar will be capped here, but what I am saying is that if there's any place for the dollar to stop moving, it is here. It doesn't mean it will stop, but this is the right place for the dollar to stop, if that's its destiny, I guess. And what it would be, what would be really cool is, yeah, we are very, very clearly punching in lower highs within the market. If we do that, which would be really clear that the market might be ready to trend lower and actually sweep the lows that it's set here. Look at that resistance, my God. Now this is the wrong time frame for, I'm sorry, these are the wrong settings for the 𝗢𝗙𝗥𝗙𝗚𝗓, right? These are the settings that I use for the 24/7 nature of Bitcoin's market. So it doesn't necessarily directly apply to the dollar, but it looks fairly accurate, right? I mean, look at the green 𝗢𝗙𝗥𝗙𝗓 here. Wow. I mean, if you were trading based off this, you've made a lot of fucking money, both resistance and support. So it's got quite heavy resistance up ahead here. No surprise, right? I mean, this is a dangerous place for the dollar. Meanwhile, S&P 500 looking really strong, ladies and gents, exactly as we've been predicting on this YouTube channel. We got a little bit of a breakout here, didn't quite materialize, we fell back down, but this range right here was basically the top for the S&P 500 for a little bit of time, right? I mean, if we actually just measure like from here up to here during a 2-week time frame, the dollar was just consistently finding, the S&P 500 was consistently finding resistance at 4140. Now that we're 20 points above, this could very well turn into an area of support that allows the S&P 500 to keep rallying higher. So that looks very, very fun indeed. Now, interestingly, gold has continued to plummet in response to the dollar gaining strength. Again, we're not worried about this because the gold is still in a very, very strong position and the dollar is about to encounter resistance. So this is probably going to reverse, just if we respond to the resistance level the same way we've been responding to our support. And what does all of that mean for Bitcoin? Well, I've been talking to you about how I think the dollar might kind of, reverse and start moving back down again. And if that does happen, then that probably means we've seen the worst of this Bitcoin sell-off. What's really important is the dollar was only at 102 point something when Bitcoin was down here. The dollar is now a whole 1 point higher than that, which, you know, for the dollar is a big deal. It's, you know, the US dollar, it's a big currency. And it's moved up, you know, to a stronger position than where it was before, yet Bitcoin is not weaker, you know? And what that's telling me is that while the outside market is getting worse, Bitcoin is getting hit by it, but Bitcoin is weathering that storm really well. The fact that we haven't punched in a new trend low, for example, you know, is a big deal. I like it. I think it's a good sign. You know, if we look at where this market could be headed from here, we've got some really interesting charts to show you. I do want to bring to your attention the very, very final day for the Bybit giveaway was yesterday. If you were interested, it was the $100 deposit. Go ahead and get yourself inside now. I'm not actually going to draw the winner in this video. I'm going to be doing it most likely in the next video tomorrow. So just get yourself signed up and deposit your $100 if you are interested in participating. You are going to get a free iPhone 14 Pro Max, the very same phone that I use actually, when you do that, depending on if you're selected, of course. So we're just going to do it completely random. Those of you that have signed up to Bybit during this time frame, if you already have an account, you have to make a new one, but that means everyone's got an equal chance at winning. You know, you only have to deposit $100. You don't have to do KYC or anything like that. And you are entered into the giveaway. You can withdraw it tomorrow. So definitely do that if you are interested. And it's a great exchange. You're going to get up to $30,000 in free trading money to trade with anyway. So that is just free money you can deploy into the markets. If you want to trade on BingX, you're going to get over $5,000. But what's very cool with BingX is that you are going to have access to all sorts of other markets. You're going to get stocks, which I'm going to be talking to you about on the 𝗬𝗙𝗥𝗙𝗚 Daily channel today. I've actually got a video ready for Apple. I'm very excited to be trading stocks again. I was extremely successful when I traded Tesla a couple years ago. I haven't really traded stocks very much in my life, but I did trade Tesla a couple years ago, and it was fucking insane. It was some of the biggest profits I ever made in my life, percentage-wise. So I'm going to be giving you guys an Apple video later on today. Make sure you are subscribed to that 𝗬𝗙𝗥𝗙𝗚 Daily channel by following this top link in the description down below. We are expanding and we are moving on upwards. So if you're interested in taking advantage of these markets, they don't require KYC. They're not going to ask you for a picture of yourself or a picture of your ID, and you can just get started and start trading with complete privacy. So definitely go ahead and check those out with the links in the description down below if you're interested. Let's show you some cool charts here. So the first one that I wanted to outline is, yeah, just quite simply that Bitcoin has been getting rejected from our key indicator here. We're not surprised by that. We knew that was coming. But what's a little bit more fun is that this is kind of invalidated now, but I mean, up until just very recently, we were forming an ascending triangle, and it's a very small one, so I wouldn't give it too much weight. It's possible that Bitcoin finds itself back in this pattern now. You know, if this turns out to be a bit of a fake out, we can just kind of, you know, do something a little bit like this and then get back above and just kind of act like nothing ever happened and then break out. That would be pretty nice for Bitcoin to pull off. So, you know, we really need to recover this very soon in order to, you know, kind of still have that prospect even be possible. Right now, it's impossible because we've fallen out of it. But, you know, if it's just a fake out and we recover back up, we're going to be fine. What's interesting, though, is that if Bitcoin was able to get a little bit higher, if it was able to get basically just above this resistance range at 28, it would have put Bitcoin right here. There's this resistance level here at 28.5. And what's really interesting about this resistance level, guys, is that this is the exact same area that Bitcoin was finding major support at when it was trending down. It was in this horrific downtrend. It came from $48,000 down to $30,000 very quickly. It was a very quick sell-off. It was, you know, no breaks. I mean, it was quite brutal, to be honest. And this was the exact price level that Bitcoin found support at with our candles and even some wicks. And if we take a look at where we would be, you know, finding a little bit of resistance, you know, this is quite an important level. And, you know, I don't think it's like completely out there that Bitcoin can actually pull something like this off, even now, because of the Ichimoku cloud, right? I mean, on the daily time frame, this is a strong area of support. Granted, we're looking a little bit weak now, especially with this daily candle. This is an ugly daily candle. It's actually just engulfed. Look at this, yeah. Just like literally while I've been making this video, it's continued to perform horribly. You know, it has actually engulfed the previous few days of price action, which is really bearish. Yeah, actually, it's engulfed everything. Wow, up to here. Look at this. This candle body completely eclipses the candle bodies of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candles that came before it, which is very, very, very bearish. That is That's about as bad as it gets on the daily time frame. So we're probably going to have to move a little bit lower. And if that's the case, if that's actually what we're going to be doing, it would mean that we'd be falling out of this pennant as well. This is the other thing that I wanted to show you, where if Bitcoin did still have a chance, and it definitely does still have a chance, you know, this pennant that Bitcoin's been in, you know, could very well break out to the upside. 10% breakout puts us at 31.3. From our current price, this would actually be more than a 16% move, more like a maybe 20% move, I guess, because we've dropped a little bit since I made this chart for you guys, just like an hour or two ago. It's crazy how quickly the market is moving right now. And it would mean that we'd be failing this, so we'd probably have to kind of fall down to levels like $25,000. Now, I'm not too worried about that. You know, I've been telling you guys for a while that, you know, 25 point, you know, whatever, or 24 point whatever would be the areas of, you know, support that I'm seeing for Bitcoin. And it doesn't even look that far away anymore. You know, we've spent so long just kind of fucking around outside of the range, you know, basically a week. So, I mean, you know, if we just kind of just get it over with. I mean, it's a $1,500 move now. We've just done it to the upside. We just have to do it again to the downside now. You know, and we will be at a very, very critical area of support. It stretches on the 𝗖𝗙𝗢𝗥𝗙𝗟𝗏 all the way down to 23.7, which is great news for us because this is a really good level on the chart. This 23.7 level, this is where we found a lot of really important resistance all the way back to July of 2022. That is a long time ago now. Wow, that is 10 months ago. Wow, okay. Time is moving very quickly, and so we've got support like everywhere on this chart. I'm really not worried about it. You know, I don't necessarily think that the pullback needs to happen. You know, this could still be the deviation that, you know, recovers back up, and the only reason I'm saying that is because of the strength in traditional finance, the fact that gold isn't below 1900, and the fact that the S&P 500 has held its level perfectly. All the while, the dollar has mustered a huge rally here. I mean, you know, this did seemingly come out of nowhere. Again, I want to stress this, and I already covered this with you previously, but, you know, basically from around here to the breakout point, this was like 54 days, or if you want to be a little bit less generous, more like 40 days, where the dollar did nothing. And then suddenly it just wakes up, and within a week, it's already up by 2-3%. It is a big move for the dollar, right? As far as the dollar goes, this was a big move for the dollar. You know, and in light of that, we're just not seeing the level of disaster that we saw just a week ago, you know? So, you know, me, I'm a realist. I like to kind of read between the lines and understand what's really going on, you know, with the background of what's happening in the space, you know, and the best ways to do that is, yeah, you look at like, well, how are we responding to resistance? How are we responding to support? Well, what I can tell you about resistance right off the bat, guys, is that we didn't even fucking hit it. All right. I mean, you know, we hit it on this occasion here, but the second time, the most recent time where we've just been rejected, we didn't even get that high. So that's pretty bad. You know, that's not something that you want to see. You know, so for short term, you know, sweeping that low and so on, it's not looking great. You know, there's, you know, it's kind of hard to be super bullish about this right now. Daily time frame, we're just continuing to see. Look at this. We're continuing. I know I'm moving the chart very hectically right now, but there you go. You know. We're getting all these crossovers now. The short-term moving averages are crossing below the long-term moving averages. Momentum is clearly shifting to the downside. I mean, it's right where we've already been rejected. So, you know, if you're a little bit more bearish right now, the market is really giving you a lot of reasons to feel confident in that direction. Let's look at the 4Flies dashboard and see what's going on here. Fear and greed index in the exact same place. Not great. Don't want to see it there. Wow, look at that though. Long and short ratio really pulling back. You know, we were 1.8 longs for every short position for Binance Retail. Now it's only 1.5. It is still quite heavy. We're still too heavy on the long side, but it is evening out every day that I look at this data. So this is one of the more compelling things, I think, for the bull case, is that our long and short ratio is evening out. Maybe things don't need to get that bad. Maybe we don't need to go all the way down to 25. Maybe we just kind of fall down to 26 and, you know, whatever. There's some weird phantom support down there. You know, whatever. We just put it down to deviations. This is the thing, is like, I know it sounds like a bit of a cop-out, but I mean, look at the chart yourself. You know, these deviations are nearly impossible to predict a lot of the time, you know, other than just kind of saying, well, we form them all the time, so we might form them again. You know, it's very hard to actually put real technicals down for when we might get a deviation, how big it might be, how long it's going to last. You know, these are, you know, important questions that as traders we need to be considering daily. You know, but it, you know, you can't, it's just hard to get a grasp of these things, right? So that's why you've just got to, you know, put your best foot forward anyway, and then exercise good risk management so that you don't, accidentally overexpose yourself, so that, if things do go wrong, you've still managed your risk tightly. You're not going to get hit too badly on any individual trade, and that way you can survive to fight another day. And the reason that that's so important is because the opportunities in these markets are endless, right? So if you're losing your capital, you're not going to have anything to deploy when the market looks super safe and easy to trade. And worse than that, you're going to doubt yourself when the time actually comes. You're not even going to have the confidence to trade it. We really don't want to be in that situation. So these are important things to be keeping in mind. But yeah, long and short ratio evening out is definitely the right sign that I wanted to see right now. It's still not good enough. Still definitely indicates that we could be dropping to the downside. Top traders have picked up their long positions a little bit, which is interesting, but retail too heavy right now, still too heavy. I'm not happy with that. So this is, we're gonna have to continue to watch and see how this plays out. Altcoins have been holding their levels remarkably well. I'm really interested in some short coins across and some short positions across these markets. That's why I was also looking at the same thing for Bitcoin. Those updates will come to you on the 𝗬𝗙𝗥𝗙𝗚 daily channel with the top link in the description down below. If you do want to take advantage of these markets without KYC, the top two links will take you there. BingX will give you over $5,000 in bonuses, and if you want to trade on Bybit, you're going to get up to 30K. Deposit $100 there. That is it. You don't need to take a picture of yourself or anything like that, and you will be entered into the giveaway as well. So that is a free iPhone 14 Pro Max giveaway. You only have to deposit $100 and you are entered. I will be drawing the winner most likely on tomorrow's video. So just make sure you do keep an eye out for that. I was supposed to do it today. I've just ran into some delays, so it's going to be tomorrow instead. But that gives you a little bit more time to enter. If you haven't quite had a chance yet, this giveaway has been running for about a month, so this is very much your overdue final time to get in if you haven't done so already. It is very convenient that it's only available to people who registered during this time period, because if you did, your chance of winning is extremely high, right? Most people who are already trading on Bybit have been registered for months or years before, and that means that your individual chances of success are really high. If you actually enter this giveaway now. So that's well worth doing. And of course, if you want to trade the other markets, Apple and so on, other indices and Forex and commodities, then BingX also has that available to you guys. So go ahead and check them out. I hope you've enjoyed this analysis for today. I will come back to you with another Bitcoin video, hopefully maybe even later today, because the market seems a little bit hot right now. I'm ready to do some live streams. If you guys want to see some live streams, obviously let me know about that in the comments. I'll do them when the market gives us some really big moves to talk about. But right now, I think we're moving pretty well. I'm happy with where we are. I think the dollar should be getting ready to find some resistance fairly soon. Yes, it should have another leg left in it, but I don't think it's going to have a whole lot more beyond that. And yeah, considering where the dollar is, I don't think Bitcoin's doing particularly horribly as well. Bitcoin's still sitting at $27,000. So, we're certainly much higher than the lows that we saw in the first few months of this year. So I still think that we're sitting pretty strong. I'm not too worried about it. The main issue is, these short-term indicators are really going to be putting a lot of pressure on Bitcoin right now. Maybe not 1 hour, maybe the 4-hour time frame is going to be more of a problem. So at some point you got to say, well, look, we just don't have a lot of support here. We're probably going to have to fall down to our next strong areas, and like I said, that's why I'm still expecting that 25. I'm being given more reasons that we have to drop down there. The only thing that's kind of keeping me still planted in my seat is seeing that the long and short ratio is pulling back. That is giving me a lot of, because I still believe that the true direction is up for the market, but we're not going to go up until we have the setup that allows it, right? And the setup that allows it is generally going to be an even long and short ratio, so 50-50, or majority shorts. That's generally the setup that I've noticed in my time, these years of analyzing the market and so on. I've been trading these markets for 6 years now, as of a few months ago. So definitely been in the game for a little bit, and I'm just kind of I'm paying attention to the things that I've seen tend to serve me well, things that tend that don't fail me, that are accurate, that the markets change over time, and what I'm interested in is kind of sticking to relative constants, so that I don't have to keep on reinventing my analysis. I can just kind of stick to the same thing, and just be sustainable and consistent, right? That is our goal as traders. As I speak to you guys, the S&P 500 is is making another move up right here, which is absolutely beautiful. So this is going to be really exciting. This is also tradable on BingX. So I was actually considering a long position on the S&P 500, literally like anywhere above these wicks, maybe like around here. I was thinking of a long like around 42.5, 42.10, something like that. And I would play that long, maybe up to this resistance area. It's not a big range, but you know, it's the S&P 500. I can leverage this up, you know, 20, 30x, and you know, 2% profit at 30 times leverage is still a 60%, you know, gain, and that would be very doable. So you know, there's a lot of plays here, and I will continue to watch this and see where I can pull the trigger on a trade safely. VIPs, as usual, are the only ones to get the information on this, and they get it first. You know, on the off chance that I do share this information publicly, which does happen every now and then, you guys knew a lot about my Bitcoin long position that made me over 200k. You know, I do share my positions publicly from time to time. Most of the time I don't, and VIPs get all that information. You can join by following these steps on screen, literally just coming down to these links in the description. The first one here will take you to my free Telegram channel, where you get even more analysis from myself and my team for free, pinned straight to your phone. And there you just click on my name at the bottom of any post and send me a message, and that's how you can get inside of VIP. Just like that right there, you're going to see my name at the bottom of every post. You can click it and send me a message, and we'll get you inside. You'll not only have access to the VIP group, where I tell you everything I'm trading, why I'm trading it, where I've chosen to enter, and so on and so forth, but also you're going to be getting you know, most likely most of you are going to be getting free access into the 𝗧𝗪𝗏 Academy courses, where I teach you everything that I know about analysis and trading and so on. And that course has been so successful, right? So to be able to get it side by side with VIP, you're getting the theory on one side, the practical on the other side. It is a very, very powerful combination. So definitely check it out if you think that would be interesting to you. With that though, I hope you have enjoyed this one. You know exactly what to do. Hit up the like, subscribe, click the bell. Been some phenomenal analysis on this YouTube channel lately, so I do hope you guys have been enjoying it. Hope you guys have been making good use out of it. And I'll see you all in the very next one. Cheers.